Good evening, and thank you all for being here tonight. On October 17th, 2003, my then 11-year-old older brother Tom, who was my only sibling, laced up his soccer cleats for practice. Little did we know he would not be making it to the soccer field that day. In the weeks prior, my mom had been noticing that Tom was losing weight, was extremely thirsty, and was uncharacteristically waking up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. So that particular October day, my mom, like moms do, decided to add a quick trip to the pediatrician's office en route to practice to ensure everything was okay. Everything was not okay. Tom was rushed to Children's Hospital Boston, where he was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. This was a new disease for our family. We didn't know anyone with T1D. And if my mom were up here right now, she would joke that she didn't even know how to spell the word diabetes. During his stay, Tom and my parents learned to live with diabetes. I remember visiting Tom when he was in the hospital, wondering what it would be like at home now that he had this new disease. When he returned home, life was different. We counted out our Pringles, ate ice cream out of Pyrex measuring cups, and used terminology that just a few days earlier was completely foreign. Units, insulin to carb ratio, correction factor, just to name a few. Tom was now my brave older brother. I, however, was not brave. I was afraid. I knew there was a risk that I could be diagnosed too. When my parents offered to show me what it felt like to have my blood sugar checked like Tom, I refused. I was afraid of the number that would show on the meter if they pricked my finger. Fast forward 2 years, I was 12 years old, and it was the week before Memorial Day 2005, when I noticed I was refilling my water bottle constantly, and my clothes were falling off of me. I was losing weight. Out of fear, I kept this to myself for a few days, making tons of excuses as to why I was feeling so poorly. That Friday, I went to my mom and told her what I had been noticing. And she said, "Let's just do your sugar and check. I'm sure you're fine." When deep down, she was hiding her own fear of what this could mean. I refused and backed down, saying, I'm really not that thirsty. After playing in a lacrosse tournament all weekend, and having trouble keeping up as my eyesight was blurred and I was dying of thirst, I went to my mom and I said, "It's time." We sat on our family room couch and she pricked my finger for the first time of 26,178 finger pricks since then. It was my turn to take the ride down the VFW Parkway to Children's, knowing nothing would be the same. My name is Maggie Berkeley, and I'm a 24-year-old girl who has type 1 diabetes. I'm often introduced or referred to by others as a diabetic, but I am much more than that. So much more. T1D interferes with every minute of my life, but I have not let it win. As the Beatles said, I get by with a little help from my friends and a serious amount of Skittles. In our initial years with T1D, our parents managed our disease, waking up at 2 a.m. every night to check our blood sugars, giving us insulin injections, and then changing our insulin pump sites. This disease is as much theirs as it is ours. Throughout high school and college, we gained independence in our management of T1D, which had its trials and tribulations. There were moments where we welcomed the independence, when our mom wasn't there nagging us to give ourselves insulin mid-bite through a slice of pizza, or the freedom to go an extra hour between blood sugar checks. That was true rebellion. And then there were moments, and still are, where we wished our parents or our nurses were by our side. Like in college, when my insulin pump broke at the Chitty Bang concert. Or during senior week, when Tom jumped into a hot tub in Myrtle Beach with his insulin pump on. Newsflash, it wasn't waterproof. These moments are when diabetes is frustrating. Tom and I live our lives to the fullest, trying to be like everyone else, but not without the consequences of feeling sick and sometimes unsafe in our own skin. Now, I have to take a few seconds to recognize my mom and dad here. Mom, thank you for being our momentum. You've always brought light to the toughest of moments and taught us when life gives you lemons, you just have to squeeze them with a dose of humor. It truly takes a special person to laugh while in the emergency room. Happy Mother's Day. And Dad, thank you for helping us with the never-ending math of T1D. You all may not know this, but our dad is a human TI-86 calculator. No need for a real one. He can do the math in his head. T1D parents wear two hats. They are parents and they are nurses, and we cannot thank you enough for wearing that second hat. T1D is my and millions of others' second job. I work for it 24/7, 365 days a year, and it is invisible. No one knows about my second job unless I share it with them. Now, I have no problem sharing it with anyone, but sometimes it's easier not to talk about. While at my chosen job at PwC, yes, I got so good at counting carbs that I became an accountant. Diabetes is present every minute of every workday. Heading into meetings, I fear my blood sugar will go low. After lunch, my blood sugar elevates, leaving me feeling dehydrated and nauseous. At the beginning of the week, I plan my outfits according to where my insulin pump and continuous glucose monitor sites are to ensure they are covered. If they are on my arm, I wear long sleeves. If they are on my hips, the world, or my closet, is my oyster. And then there are days where my insulin just doesn't seem to be working, and my blood sugar is so high while sitting at my desk that I begin to worry. On these days, I text my dad, whose office is a block over, and ask if at lunchtime he will discreetly pick me up and drive me to my apartment to get a fresh supply of insulin. All while hoping everyone thinks I'm just like them, running out to Chipotle to grab lunch. No one sees my diabetes, and therefore, no one is aware of the struggles I endure every day to get through the day. To everyone else, I am just like them. My second job even has performance reviews, but they happen quarterly, and there's no salary increase. Every 3 months, I go to the Joslin Diabetes Center for an appointment, which always seems to conflict with something happening at work, but that's okay. Like the performance reviews at any job, these reviews cause great anxiety. With my doctors and nurses, I discuss how I did over the last 90 days. Data is downloaded off my devices, and we analyze my hourly blood sugar trends and insulin doses. I receive critical feedback and set goals in order to meet the objective for the next appointment. I'm given my grade, or my ranking, through a blood test, my hemoglobin A1C. All of the hard work that I've put in to achieve in-range blood sugars comes down to this day. The pressure is there to get an A in T1D. And just like any job or any project, sometimes your hard work goes unrecognized. No matter how hard I try, I never get an A. As someone who always got A's in school, I strive for this A. But there are times when this disease is really hard. JDRF was the first organization that reached out to our family when Tom was diagnosed. Through the Bag of Hope program, newly diagnosed families are connected with seasoned T1D families. My mom and I have delivered many of Bags of Hope throughout the years, some to people who are sitting in this room tonight. We visit newly diagnosed families who are just home from the hospital and completely overwhelmed. And we're able to say to them, everything is going to be okay. And to all the T1D moms and dads sitting in this room tonight, everything is going to be okay. We are an example that you can still achieve very much while living with T1D. While I love to deliver Bags of Hope, my heart aches when I hear about a new diagnosis. I do not want anyone else to have to feel the way we feel every day. The roller coaster ride, the slide into a low, and the climb of a high. We are here tonight not only to cure T1D, but also to prevent it. I'm honored to lead the JDRF New England Young Leadership Committee, a group of 30 young professionals who have T1D or a connection to the disease. Some of our members were diagnosed at a young age, like us, and then others have been diagnosed in their adult lives, in their late 20s and early 30s. In this group, we support, network, and fundraise for a cure. Just last weekend, we held our second annual JDRF Derby Days event at TIA's, raising $18,000. Tonight's theme is Be the Momentum, Be the Progress, Be the Cure. I feel the momentum tonight with all of you sitting here supporting the millions living with T1D. I see the progress JDRF has made in T1D research and therapies. I lived with T1D for 10 years before the continuous glucose monitor came to market. JDRF's funding was instrumental in the development of the CGM, which is now part of my 24/7, 365-day life support. This sensor alerts me when I am low, whether it be in the middle of the night, on my walk to work through Post Office Square, when I get behind the wheel, or as I stand up tonight in front of you all. This sensor connects to my Apple Watch, and with the flip of a wrist, I can find comfort that my blood sugar is in range. 156, not bad. With this technology, a bit of the burden is lifted. The progress is happening. But Tom and I still have 2 devices connected to us 24/7. We still feel the side effects of blood sugar swings each and every day. Insulin is not a cure. The CGM is not a cure. We have not achieved the last part of our theme, and that is why we are here tonight. I stand before you as a successful 24-year-old who happens to live with T1D. I have not let this disease define who I am. We all have a choice tonight to let this disease define our community, or we can stand up against it. This disease does not discriminate. It will make its way into the homes of many more families. I ask of you to be the cure. Be the cure for Ceci, be the cure for Tom, be the cure for me, be the cure for the millions of people living with T1D, and be the cure for the millions of people who have yet to be diagnosed. We're all counting on a cure, and we need your help to find it. Thank you.